Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope that you are all good. So in today's video, it's a little different to usual. I'm showing you guys how I do my builder gel in a bottle application. I'm working on my Glamerliz hand. I've already applied the tips that act as the nail bed and then applied my tips for the free edge and just sort of roughly shaped them and then filed over them so they're not a smooth surface. Now, if you was doing this on yourself or a client, you would obviously do all your natural nail prep first and apply a base coat. Because I'm working on my Glamerliz hand, it would just be a wasted step adding the base coat because the base coat isn't really going to do anything because we're not working on natural nails. So I'm going to just come in and start applying my builder gel. Now I'm using in this video Premier Gel's builder in a bottle. I can't remember the name of this particular colour, but I will double check and leave it in the description box below. So to start off with, I just fly through sort of showing you guys how I do it on the first two nails, and then on the third nail I've slowed the video down and I can sort of explain it a little bit more. Now I just want to say I'm not an expert with builder in a bottle or gel really. It's not a product I've used very much since qualifying. I qualified in it when I qualified in acrylics, but preferred acrylics, so worked with them mainly. However, I'm really loving gel at the moment and I've really wanted to push myself and start using it a little bit more. So yeah, I thought I would practice and have a play around and record it. Now, personally, I prefer working with a bit of a thicker gel to what these Premier Gel ones are. However, I had a couple of these bottles on hand, so I thought I would just use them. So you can kind of see what I've done on the first nail, but I will go through now and talk a little bit more about what I'm actually doing. So to start off with, I'm applying a thin layer of that builder gel and I'm just making sure to get that right up close to the cuticle without touching, and then I'm just pulling it down, making sure it covers the entire nail. And then I will leave this layer uncured and then come in and do my thicker layer over the top. Gel just moves a lot better over the top of gel. It sort of just teaches it or helps control where it goes. So then I'm picking up larger balls of gel. And as you can see, I'm just using circular motions, wriggling that down onto the nail and then using the brush to pull it down the nail, and I just start blending it out as it gets to the tip. Now this is where I feel like I prefer thicker gels, just because you seem to be able to pick up more on the brush and it seems to just be able to cover the nail easier in one layer rather than having to come in more, if that makes sense. But that again is probably just down to personal preference. So then I've come in with another layer just to build up the thickness of that nail, and then I sort of just pull my brush down the center of the nail because you want a majority of the product to be in the apex area and down that center of the nail. Okay, so I haven't sped this nail up on the video, so I could sort of just show you guys a little bit more. So I'm applying down that slip layer again, so a nice thin even layer, and obviously like I said, this would be going over your base coat. So I'm applying it as close to the cuticle as I can get it without touching the skin, and I'm holding the finger pointing downwards so that none of that product flows back and seeps into the cuticle area. If you do get any on the skin or cuticle area, just wipe it off with some alcohol. So then whilst that first layer is still wet, I've come in with another ball of gel, this time slightly larger, and I'm using my brush in circular motions to transfer that onto the nail, and then I'm just going side to side to bring that product down towards the free edge. I'm not bringing the whole of the product down towards the free edge because again you are trying to build up your apex. So then I come in with a little bit more, place it just a little bit further down the nail, and again repeating that process. So as you can see, I'm always going side to side, but it leaves a bulk of the product in the center of the nail. And then again, I'm looking at the nail and seeing where it needs more thickness and then coming in with some more gel. So I noticed, it thinned out a little bit at the tip. So I just come in with some more. And you don't really need to blend it back as such with this. Again, just putting it down on the nail and moving that gel side to side. Now these are quite short to medium length nails, so they don't need a huge apex or don't need to be overly thick, but I'm just coming in with a little bit more just to build up that apex ever so slightly. You can also flip the hand upside down so it sort of naturally drags the product into the center of the nail, but it was a little bit hard doing this on the Glamerliz hand compared to doing it on my own. It was just extra faff, so I just come in with a little bit more there. Then I popped that nail into cure. So I cured each nail as I went along, and I gave it a full 60 seconds cure. And then again, I'm going to come in and do exactly the same on the little finger as I've done on the other 3 nails. I thought I'd just speed it up again because it's pretty repetitive, this video. I've done exactly the same on every nail, and I didn't want to do a super in-depth tutorial because I am still sort of getting to grips with builder gel because it's been a long time since I've worked with gel products. But someone did ask me on Instagram if I worked with gel and if I'd do a gel video, so I thought I'd give one a go. Everyone works their own way, so I'm not saying this is the right way to do it. I'm just saying at the moment this is the way that I found easiest to do it. Like I also said as well, I personally prefer a slightly thicker gel to what the Premier gels are. So I have got a couple anyway, a couple of different brands in my kit, and I have ordered another brand to try as well. So keep an eye out. Maybe I will do a comparison video or another video just showing why I find the thicker gels a little bit easier to work with or something like that, if maybe you'd be interested in watching. But with the thinner gels, I just found it slightly harder and longer to build up an apex, if that makes sense. But anyway, I then popped that nail into cure, and I just noticed they just felt a little uneven. So I'm just coming in with a thin layer just to even that out because I didn't want to do too much filing. And although builder gel is really easy to file, I felt a little bit concerned that if I was sort of filing them even, I'd be making them too thin. So I just come over with another thin layer of that builder gel just to sort of even out anywhere where there was little dips. And as you can see, this is a really lovely natural colour, so you could just build your nail with this colour. You wouldn't have to add any colour to it. It looks a lot better on natural nails than it does on the Glamerliz hand because I've used white tips and then clear tips at the free edge. But when you're doing it on yourself, I find this colour looks a lot nicer. But I am going to do a design on these nails, but I'm going to do it in a separate video. I thought I would split them up into the builder gel and then a design. So keep an eye out because the next video I will have up on my channel will be the design that I do over the top of these. And then again, I popped them in to cure for 60 seconds. And then now I'm just using some alcohol to wipe off that tacky inhibition layer, ready to file the nails into shape. So I didn't do all of the filing on camera, I just did one nail, but I'm just beginning to come in with my file and neatening up the free edge. The free edge didn't actually need much filing on this particular nail, the middle one did, but this particular nail, it was more just neatening up that free edge. And then I'm going to come in and refine and contour the entire nail. Now I really struggle with filing on camera. I just feel like my camera and my light really get in the way. I need to play around with my setup, but I just haven't had a chance. So I usually cut out the filing in my videos, but I thought I would show you in this one just because then it shows you most of the process. But my filing routine is very much the same as when I'm doing my acrylics. So I just neatened up the free edge. Like I said, there wasn't much to do on the free edge. And then I come up the side wall, down one side, go around that cuticle area, avoiding taking too much off the apex. And then I come up and over the next side wall. And then I'm sort of just going over the surface of the nail, evening out any lumps or bumps. There wasn't too much to even out because the application had gone on quite smoothly. But I'm just, you know, making sure it is all nice and even. Whilst I'm doing this, I'm always checking from all angles because you don't want to overfile, and it's really easy to overfile the builder gel because it's a lot softer than acrylic, so it files down quite quickly. So I start off using the 100 grit side of my file, but then I do switch up at times to the 180 grit side because I don't want to overfile. I only showed filing on one nail because, like I said, it was a bit of a struggle, but I hope it does help you guys out just to see how I do it. And then once I've finished filing all the nails, I will come in and give them a slight buff just to remove any scratches that are left from the file. I don't want to over buff because I know I'm going to be coming in over the top with some design in the next video. So like I said, do keep an eye out for that. But this is just a really nice natural look. You could top coat and leave them as this and it would still look quite pretty, but I'm going to come over the top with a gel polish design. So we'll have that video up either tomorrow or the day after. And then yeah guys, that's the end of the video. I really hoped it helped. If you enjoyed it, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below or give the video a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you did. Thank you all so much for watching and I shall see you all again soon. Lots of love. Bye bye.